Hey friends, it's Randy. How you doing? I just wanted to make a real short video here today about YouTube and the demonetization of certain videos. So I never got into YouTube to make any kind of money. I had no intention of monetizing. I didn't even know I'd get, any kind of subscribers to speak of. And I still have less than 3,000. So it's been very steadily increasing, but very slowly. Anyway, I've probably been doing these for a couple years now, and I didn't monetize until at least probably 9 months in. And at first I was making about probably $1 a day. So Google doesn't send you a check until you reach $100. So I was getting like $100 about every 3 months at first. And then all this other stuff happened with demonetizing supposedly controversial videos because of the corporations and Google not wanting ads to be associated with things that are too controversial, because then they're gonna push away their business partners. And so certain a few of my ads, a few of my videos that I monetize get kicked back and unmonetized by YouTube. Not too many of them. It's probably maybe happened like 5 times, and it's happened more. The last 3 have been recent, and it's really interesting. The videos that they don't allow me to monetize, or they do it initially, and then I guess they review it, and then they demonetize it. The ones they are kicking back are things that are issues that related to kind of like the old boys club, issues related to like needing Viagra, erectile dysfunction. They like to kick back those. And they just recently kicked back the last one that I did about old narcissistic dads. And I found that really interesting because obviously these are potential sore spots, but not just sore spots for people without power, right? I mean, if somebody is bringing up issues about people who have no power in the corporate world, it's probably going to go unnoticed. But the advertisers and the corporations are going to be mainly men, or if they're women running it, it's still probably likely, a man at the top, or, the upper echelon of these corporations are probably men, and they're probably older men at this point. So these are very sensitive issues for old men, right? Old men don't want to hear anything about erectile dysfunction, about misusing Viagra, or even needing Viagra, or any sarcasm about it. And they definitely don't want to hear anything about, the second families and third families that they've decided to have as they were older. And it's interesting how when you look on the internet for any information about old new dads, in other words, guys having kids in their later years, the only statistics you'll find where it's definitely on the rise, where older men are having more and more new babies, than they ever did before. Another thing that's the studies that talk about how their sperm is mutated and it, kind of spoils as they get older, similar to how a woman's eggs are no longer super healthy as she gets older. Not at the same rate, but yet still occurs. There's that study you can find, and you can find articles about it and comments about it on the internet. But that's the only thing you can find. Everything else that you find is positive, where they're talking to older dads and interviewing them, and they say how great it is, and they're so happy that they got this second chance, and now they're going to spend so much more time, and they have this do-over with some new little kid, and they have a younger wife, not like she's any younger than their first wife was when they married her. She was young when they were together as well. I mean, younger than first wife, but nonetheless still the same as when he had another wife, the same age. He was just younger. You get what I'm saying. So they have this do-over where, they can correct all their former mistakes of, whatever. They were working more on the career or whatever, and now they want to spend more time. Well, I mean, it's kind of selfish, it's more than kind of selfish. It is selfish, but they don't recognize that. It's like, so then what? They're admitting that when they were younger, they were an asshole, and now they've gotten wise, and so they want to do it over again. But, the thing is, you can't do things over, You're old now, and you can't correct what you did with another group of kids with a new group of kids. Those first group of kids are still there. Did you repair that stuff? Did you it's like you still have the first group of kids, and they might be screwed up. You admit they're screwed up, and you just toss them out and start with some new one and see if you can do better. What about the ones that are still there? I mean, what about spending the rest of your free time making things up to them? Repairing what you screwed up? Did you ever think of that? No, it's like throw away people, start over. What about all those you left behind in your wake? You too lazy? And since you are too lazy, and since you have not repaired anything, what it tells me is you're going to screw this other one up as well. Because you throw away people. And this new kid might not be your dream child. In fact, with your mutated sperm, this kid might have some cognitive limitations. They might have some disabilities, and you think you're going to do things over, and it's really a warped concept. You don't do your life over. You continue to move on in a straight line, linearly toward your death. So nothing's a do-over. If it was a do-over, then we could go back in time and change it. That would be doing over. But all you're doing is repeating the same mistakes. And you're in denial so much that you got to demonetize any videos that might allude to the fact that there's a huge problem here, and it's a growing problem. It's a growing misconception, And everybody's just like, oh, yeah, now I'm a wise father. I'm really having a good time with my kid. Well, that's because, if you're really a grandfather, and you should be having a good time with your grandkids, not your own kid, you idiot. That's what you're enjoying. You're enjoying being a grandparent to a new kid at your age. A full-time grandparent. That's what you are. You are still old and you're a full-time grandparent to the kid. That's all. Because you've passed your time. You've screwed it up already. It cannot be reversed. It can only be repaired, but it has to be repaired with those kids, not make new ones, you dumbass. All right, thanks for listening, guys.